I grew up in Williamson, New York, which is kind of a unique fruit growing region. It's actually home to one of the big processed plants called Mott's. And my family has been farming for quite a few years now. I grew up thinking I'd be a teacher. That was the thing to do. I liked math and science. And then realized when I was entering high school that you could go to school for agriculture, and I thought that was the coolest thing. I didn't realize that was an option kind of growing up. And so I started investigating and fell in love with Cornell. And so that was the school I applied to, got in, and that's really where I started my education. I went in thinking I was going to take all orchard management classes to realize, well, they don't have a major in just orchard management anymore. So majored in agricultural sciences, plant sciences, and business, hoping that that would teach me enough. Took some viticulture type classes and vineyard management, just because that was helpful learning about trellises and managing a similar crop. Well, honestly, I think the future for everybody is business is a huge part of this industry, and I think it's getting stronger. So I did take a ton of horticulture, crop science classes, and sometimes I wish I had taken a few more business classes because it's so important. The biggest thing is knowing how to manage your finances and dealing with generational transition. And it's stuff that they can't always teach you, but they can at least give you a base for. Because everybody farms slightly differently, and no matter how they teach you in school, what works for your soil types and your family's operation or the company you work for is very different than anything they can ever teach. Williamson is right along Lake Ontario, and so it's an excellent place to grow tree fruit with the climate. It actually stays a little cooler in the summer, which is really helpful for keeping crops, and that's why we get along really well with tart cherries, peaches, and apples right along the lakeshore. So I've seen a lot of transition from the 20 by 20 spacings that were Romes, Ida Reds, Greenings, to a lot of high density fresh fruit where you could see things as close to 1.5 by 10 feet, planting of Honeycrisp, Gala, Fuji's. There's a lot of growers that are mixed growers, so they'll do some processed and some fresh, but there's definitely been a lot of transition, and that's been one of the big things, as well as on-farm storages. So the advice, after working with so many people, that I would give is, for one, patience. It's not something that happens overnight, and it's sometimes good to get experience elsewhere, because working with your family isn't always easy if you're going to work with them all day and then be with them in the evenings and weekends. So it's good to go work with other people and experience what others do to basically work on their operation and improve it. So I would advise anybody to go get some experience, even if it's for 6 months someplace else, and then come back home. And it's okay to start the transitional process, but have patience in it and not try to do it super fast, but learn from the people around you.